Should people imprisoned for their crimes lose all their rights? Every society needs rules, a common code of conduct, agreed upon, enforced, and upheld, for the collective good. But rules by nature require consequences, and when those consequences include imprisonment, we're not just talking about loss of freedom, we're talking about justice, power, and how we see people who break the law. So what does it actually mean to imprison someone, and how has that meaning changed over time? At its core, society functions on consensus. We agree, explicitly or implicitly, to a shared code of behavior, and built into that agreement are mechanisms for accountability. When someone violates the code, especially in ways that cause harm, the legal system steps in, not to exact vengeance, but to restore order. And sometimes the violation is serious enough that the person is removed from society, at least temporarily. That's imprisonment. Imprisonment is reserved for relatively serious breaches of the law, crimes that involve physical harm, significant property damage, or financial injury. The severity of the punishment is meant to correspond to the severity of the crime. Intent, negligence, or recklessness are all factored into sentencing. But prison isn't just a punishment, it's a statement. It says, this behavior was unacceptable enough that we must remove you from society for a time. It's important to recognize that imprisonment is already an immense penalty. The loss of personal freedom, separation from family and community, restricted choices in every part of daily life. Historically, imprisonment was far more than just a denial of liberty. It was often a descent into cruelty. Inmates were subjected to squalor, starvation, disease, and violence, both from guards and from each other. The prison in many cases was not just a place of punishment, but a symbol, a deterrent, meant to instill fear in the public. And for many, the punishment extended far beyond their term. Survivors of prison were often shunned, stripped of social standing, employment opportunities, and any real chance at reintegration. This historical legacy still casts a long shadow today. In more recent decades, many societies have recognized that justice should not be synonymous with cruelty. That punishment without proportionality or a path to return is not justice, it's a distortion of it. Modern correctional systems aim to balance accountability with rehabilitation. The goal is no longer to simply warehouse offenders, but to engage with the causes of criminal behavior, social instability, trauma, lack of education, addiction, and offer tools to change. Imprisonment today begins with structure, daily routines, personal hygiene, teamwork, and discipline. These aren't arbitrary, they're designed to instill basic social functioning. Counseling, whether psychological, behavioral, or spiritual, is offered not as a luxury but as a necessity, because many inmates carry unresolved issues that contributed to their crimes in the first place. Modern facilities also emphasize human connection. Frequent family visits, education, and skills training help inmates maintain a link to the outside world and imagine themselves as part of it again. Even the guards play a role. Carefully selected, professionally trained, and expected to manage conflict without escalating it, they become key figures in maintaining dignity and safety. Legally, imprisonment is a last resort. Courts are increasingly encouraged to explore alternatives first: fines, community service, probation, monitoring, before incarceration. Because prison as a system is resource-intensive. Overcrowding threatens the safety of everyone involved, and frankly, the data shows that rehabilitation reduces recidivism far better than dehumanization does. Modern justice doesn't seek to ruin lives, it seeks to restore balance. That means treating convicts as people who've done wrong, not people who are wrong. Prison is and should remain a serious consequence for serious wrongdoing, but its purpose isn't destruction, it's transformation. Because if we want people to return to society better than when they left it, we have to treat them like people the whole way through. Justice isn't just about making people pay for what they've done, it's about preparing them to do better next time. And when we lose sight of that, we lose sight of what justice is actually for.